Hey guys, it's that time of year again. I am organizing all of my onion seedlings. Now, if you haven't started your onions yet, now would be a perfect time to do that. It's the middle of January. And so you'd want to get those started now if you want to get a jump on spring. But I do all of mine from seed, and mine are about, let me show you. These here are they're about 3 weeks to a month old. And so I get an early jump on them. But if you haven't, like I say, you can go ahead and start yours from seed right now. Now, it's really simple to do these from seed. If you're wondering why I've got a glove on, I've got a cut on my hand. All you have to do is I just take these trays here like this, these little mini ones, and then they come with the tray here, and that goes in here, and then they have a little dome. And I did a video on this, and I'll put a link to it below about starting them from seed. But I love these little domes. I actually I sell these on my website, but you can also get them on Etsy too, and I'll put a link for that. But they work wonderfully, and all you have to do is you fill this up, and I use a soilless mix. I like the Pro Mix. I've had really good luck with it. So I just fill this up, and then I just tamp them down. I got a little tamper that goes with each one of these. And I just put 5 or 6 seeds in it, cover them up, water them well, put the little domes on, and then I don't use those heat mats. You can use the heat mats, it'll kind of speed it along, but I do too many of them. I'd need like 10 heat mats, so I don't do it. But I just put these in the house where the temperatures are consistent, about 70 degrees. What you don't want to do is, I mean, yeah, I've got a greenhouse and I could start them out here, but the problem is that the temperatures fluctuate way too much. It'll get down in the 20s during the night, and then the days it'll get like 85 or 90, and they don't really like that. They like to be consistent. So I keep them in the 70s. So in the house, they don't need to be under bright light yet. But once they start sprouting, you're going to want to get them under lights. And so I do have grow lights that I put them under when they start sprouting. But once they are up and they've got a little bit, like an inch or so to them, then you can bring them outside into the greenhouse or whatever, and just keep them from hard frost, and they'll be just fine. They don't mind getting a light frost. And so these have been out here. I brought these out here about a week ago, and they've been inside under lights, and they're doing well. Now I need to cut the tops off of these and make them more manageable. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to pull these out of here. I've got like 6 or 8 per cell. I'm going to pull these out and I'm going to put them like 2 per cell. And so that's what we're going to do today. Now, as far as the mix that I use, I still use that Pro Mix when I use these, but I also add a couple things. I will add some worm castings, and I'll add this right here, this Down to Earth 444 vegetable garden to kind of feed them. Because right now they're going to start, when they start getting a little size to them like this, they're going to want a little bit of nutrients. And so my mix is, let me show you. So this is the mix. Now I've got 4 parts to 1 part. So I've got 4 parts of this Pro Mix and 1 part worm castings. I'm going to mix those together. I'm going to use 5 tablespoons of this for every 5 gallons. So it's about a tablespoon per gallon of finished mix. And this will get me through all the way, so I'm going to do 5 tablespoons. This will get me through all the way to transplant. Then I'm going to mix all this in really well. Whoopsie. Nice thing about being in the greenhouse, I can slop in it. It doesn't hurt anything. I just wipe off the counters and I'm good to go. Now the worm castings give you a lot of bioactivity and whatnot, and then of course the fertilizer will feed them. All right, so now what I do is I just take these cells like this. Now since they're not in the dome, I don't need to use this tray here with the dome. I don't need this part anymore. I don't need this part or this part anymore. They're going to go directly into these cells. So I'll just fill these cells up like this. Let me bring you around the other side here and I'll show you once I get a couple of these in here. There's my blind dog. He can hear me. Look at him. He's trying to focus. Look at him. He is such a sweet little guy. Yeah, he moves a lot by sound. He listens to my voice. Now I'm going to put them in this tray here. Now I've done a couple of them already. So let's move this over here. Okay, so I've got a few of them in this tray that I've already pulled out. And what I did was I went ahead and I cut these, I gave them a haircut here like this because they're just easier to manage. A lot of people say you have to do that to stimulate growth. You know, I've done it both ways and I don't see a difference. I just do it because it makes them easier to manage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just loosen them up here and pull them out like that. Loosen them up and pull out. If they don't come out with the dirt, then that's, you know, that's kind of, I mean, that's all right, as long as you don't break them. So I just loosen them up, pull them out. Some of them don't want to come out too easy, and if they don't want to come out, well, you can always dig them out with a spoon or something. But you want to make sure that you just don't break the, don't break it right here where it starts to turn white. You don't want to break it from here down. If it's broke up here, it's okay, but once you start breaking it here, you're kind of, yeah, a lot of times you're out of luck. It just might not recover. And so just like that. So I fill it up, and then I just take these and pull them apart. And I'm going to drop 2 of them per cell. So I just take it like that, and I just push it in. And then take 2 more, put them into the cells like that. Now you could just do 1 if you're not doing an awful lot of onions. You could just do 1. I do 2 because this is how I sell them. I sell them 2 per cell. So I usually sell a 12-pack. Whoops, it just went down through the crack. I'll get that later. Now they may look a little spindly, like they're not very healthy, but you know what? This is a perfect time. They will recover. These things are very resilient. They will, I mean, they are, yeah, extremely resilient. They're going to do just fine. Now you see this here, this one here, it broke right there. That one might not recover, so I'm just not going to chance it. I've got thousands of them, so I was just a little careless somehow and it just broke. And so we've got 11. Okay, so now we've got 12 in there. I'm just going to take more of this new mix. I'm going to cover these up. Make sure I can, where's my other one there? Okay, so there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then I'm going to put these in the tray. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all, fill them all up first, get a full tray, and then I'm going to go ahead and water them really well. And it has happened before that I've thought that that I only had 1 in there. And what I did was I put the dirt in. I actually I covered it up. And like right here, I know there's a second one in there, but it's way over here. But I've covered it up, and so I put dirt in there. And then as they started growing, I had 3 in the cell. So they're very resilient. They're not gonna scream if you you know, if you're a little bit aggressive with them, because they're going to do just fine. So there's another one there. Okay. Going to water them really well. Now I did pre-moisten this mix because I was transplanting some other things, but usually I don't pre-moisten the mix. I like it dry because it's easier to push the plants down in. But it was already pre-moistened, and I just figured I wanted to use this up before I started a new bale. So normally I don't pre-moisten. Let's make sure. Water it well. Now a lot of people will say, you know, with these transplants, go ahead and water it until all the water starts running out. Well, here's the problem with that method. You're forcing all the nutrients down and out of the cell, and so you don't want to do that. Just water them really well to where you know that the water is getting all the way down past the root system, and you're going to be just fine. I'm right here. I'm right here. He has to listen for my voice. He just, there you go, good boy. Yeah, yeah. He pulls his head up like this and he listens, and he can actually follow me pretty good. And then when he gets close, of course, he can see things when he's really close. And then he sees the greenhouse and he sees, oh, I got a doorway here. But yeah, I think he's just going to get worse the older he gets as far as his eyesight goes. But anyways, enough about the dog. So growing onions, piece of cake, walk in the park. I mean, now as far as these go, now I did do a video already. I'll put a link in the description. Last year in January, I did a video on starting them from seed. So you can go out and watch that video. And this, of course, would be part 2 to that video. And then there'll be a part 3 where I'm going to put some of these into the ground here. For me, most of these are going to be for my plant sale, so I'll be selling most of these. But now, of course, I live in zone 7B, and I could put them in the ground right now. But here's the thing. I already have this greenhouse. I have the citrus, and so they need to stay warm. And so if it gets down below freezing, I'll kick the heat on just for, to keep them warm. And so because it'll get up into like the 70s and sometimes 80s in here, these onions just love it. They're just in heaven because onions love the warmth. And so now they can tolerate the cold, they can tolerate some freezing, but I might as well put them in here and let them grow. They'll grow twice as fast because of the heat and the warmth, and, the sunshine and everything from the greenhouse. So I'm just going to leave them in here, and I'm not going to put them out until March. I think now, of course, everybody loves tomatoes, and I do love growing my tomatoes. So, but equally so, I love my alliums because here it is January, and already I'm gardening. And so that's one of the things. My tomatoes, I'm not going to be starting them till probably next month. And so I can work with onions almost all year long. So anyways, I'm rambling. So growing onions, piece of cake, walk in the park. Anybody can do it. If you haven't started your onions from seed, go ahead and do that right now because you want to get a jump on it. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't and hit the bell so you get notifications. Okay? We'll catch you guys later.